This is the solution video for the Chapter 4 test review, numbers 5 through 8, which focus on writing the equation of lines in standard form. So standard form, we need to make sure x and y are on the left-hand side, and then we also see in parentheses it says no fractions, no negative x term. Now it does also say, reminder, you must put in point slope form first. That's only because we can never go directly into standard form given no matter what information we're given. We always have to put it in either slope intercept or point slope form. I always just say point slope form because that's the only one we really have to worry about instead of having to choose. So if we look at number 5, we've got a point and a slope. So here's our reminder. We need to put it into point slope form. We have everything we need for point slope form. Boom, there it is. So now if I want it to look like standard form, I need, first of all, no parentheses. So let's go ahead and distribute that 3. And then I also need my x and y on the left-hand side and all my constants combined on the right. So that means I'm going to move my x term to the left by subtracting it. I'm going to move that -1 to the right of the equation by adding it. So I end up with -3x with a positive y on the left and a positive 16 on the right. However, we can't have a negative x term. I don't know why this is a rule. It just is. Kind of annoying, but whatever. So that means we're just going to change the sign of every single term, aka dividing all terms by -1. So -3x becomes positive 3x, positive y becomes negative y, and positive 16 becomes -16. And now it is in standard form. All right, let's try number 6. So this one is going to be similar to number 5, although we have one extra step at the beginning, which is to find our slope first. So we ended up finding that it had a slope of -3. So let's plug it into point slope form first. Again, we can never put something directly into standard form. So I'm going to choose that first point. And there's my point slope form. And now we're going to follow the same steps as number 5. Distribute to get rid of those parentheses. And then rearrange. So move my x term to the left. Because it's negative this time, I move it by adding it. And then move -3 to the right by adding 3 to both sides. I end up with positive 3x, a positive y on the left, and on the right, -3 plus 3 is equal to 0. So I do have to write 0. I can't just leave it blank. Now, there's no fractions, no negative x terms, so my answer is done. I don't have to do that extra last step. All right, let's take a look at number 7. Number 7, we are given 2 points as well, so we're going to follow the same process as number 6. So first, find the slope. And then we run into an issue because we get an undefined slope. Now, we can't plug in the word undefined. In the equation, we can still write it. So I don't know if you guys remember, but in class, I showed you this trick where if we get an undefined slope or 0 slope, look back at your points and find the repeated value. I see that a 4 is repeated in the x area for the ordered pair, x comma y. So 4 is repeated at the x spot. So that means the x was repeated with the number 4. That's my equation. We do the same exact thing if we get a 0 slope. All right, number 8, just starting like number 6 and 7, find the slope first. It's where we always gotta do first. We get 6 over 3, which gives me a slope of positive 2. This time I am noticing that I don't actually have to put it in point slope form because 0, -2 is a y-intercept. So again, we can still use point slope form if you want, but slope intercept for me is a little bit easier. So I'm going to use this slope and -2 is my y-intercept and do y equals mx plus b. I still have to change it to standard form, but look, I don't have a distributive property to do. The only thing that's out of place is that x term. I need to move it to the left by subtracting it. And no negative x term allowed, so we're going to change the sign of every term. Thank you for listening, and check the playlist for other videos from this test.